because he's ever since and she just, the little girl turned around and just
3-year-old at 9.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I started late.
In for a wild ride.
Oh, yeah. Yes, I am.
But being single is so good.
Oh, I know. You just start to get everywhere.
Right now. But it's also like partly because they did it as a border. There's nothing no district can.
Good evening, all, and welcome. We would like to start off this meeting with a Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Board, I would like a motion to approve the agenda for April 19th, 2022 as presented.
So moved.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Board, I would like a motion to accept the official election results from April 5th, 2022.
So moved. Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Now I'll turn it over to Dr. Hoban.
Thank you, Ms. Lang. It is my pleasure tonight to spend a few moments recognizing two of our outgoing board members tonight. Mike Hain and Michelle Walker have both spent quite a bit of time on the board. Mike is finishing up 12 years on the board. Michelle's finishing up 6. And I could say a lot about both of them, and I debated, should I really separate them and talk about them individually, or should I really combine what we've seen out of both of them together? And I think that's where I really landed, because what we've seen out of both Michelle and Mike over these years is just they are absolute champions for kids. Every time we have decisions that come in front of this board, issues that are going on, you know, in good times and in bad times, they're always very centered on what is it that our kids need from us. And that is something that I have absolutely appreciated from both of their time on the board. Speaking just in general about what it means to be on the board, we all know it is unpaid service, it's volunteer service that all of you on the board, but speaking about Mike and Michelle, put themselves out there to serve the community at no pay, they're just giving their own time, they're volunteering to do this work. I think it probably goes without saying that the role they signed on for a few years back is not the same role that they're ending their tenure on. Being a board member has become a much more difficult and time-consuming role than it used to be. And I think we have 2 board members leaving us tonight that have held their heads high and continued to be champions for kids through some tough times and through a lot of attention, both good and bad, that we've had to work through. Michelle, I just want to say to you, I very much appreciate that you have been a voice for kids that don't always have a voice. And I think you're unwavering in your support for those families and those kids, and they need you. And I know that you're going to continue to be that voice for those kids, even if you're not on that seat on the board. So I just sincerely want to say to you, thank you for all you've done and for what you'll continue to do for the kids and families in this district. Mike, and I think for you it goes well beyond just your role on the board. I think anybody who goes out sees you on the sidelines at football games or at events or being a grandpa to kids in this district. And again, I said earlier about you being a champion for kids, and that rings true for you as well. I think you have centered the rest of this board for many years with understanding what it is that kids need. But again, it goes just beyond your seat on this board. You've been an integral part of this community for many, many years. And I know that whether you're on this board or not, you're going to continue to do the same. They're going to continue to see your face volunteering and doing what you can to make a positive impact on many different things across this district. And so to you very much, again, thank you for your time and for your efforts that have led to where we are. And for those that don't know, just the other day we surprised Mike with a Hall of Fame award. And you know, that nomination came in with many of these same things. That's an award that goes to people who go above and beyond. So again, it's not just for being a board member, but it's for all those things you've done outside of that role to continue to support this district. So again, to you, a very sincere thank you for the time you spent on this board. I think I speak for the rest of the board and for the entire community to say your two board members we're going to miss very much when you are not on this board with us. It's been a pleasure working alongside you and seeing what you hold important for the kids and families of this district. And so, again, there's not more I can do than just say thank you so much for your time. We do have some small tokens of appreciation to give to you, but it really all comes down to thanking you for your years of hard work and volunteer service. So, thank you. And at this point, I'll turn it over to the two of you if you'd like to say a few words. I think we've agreed that Mike will go first.
I think it's because I have the most to say. All right. Hopefully everybody can hear me. First, I want to say thanks to the community. My wife and I have been volunteering in this district for more than 30 years, and we don't intend to stop now. So I just want to throw that out there up front. If anybody's offended by the fact that I'm wearing a Howl cover, I have a North shirt and I have a Central t-shirt on. So it was a little too warm to put on 11 middle school shirts, 11 elementary shirts, 5 middle school shirts, and three early childhoods. But the new board members will learn that you have to change your wardrobe depending upon what part of the district you're in. But first of all, I want to thank my family. There's a lot of times where we miss family functions or events because we were either at games or events, have a number of meetings that we go to, there are board meetings we go to, and just the prep time for these meetings takes a lot of time and effort. So I want to thank my wife and my family for allowing me to provide this service to the district. I want to thank our awesome staff. Our staff in this district is the best from top to bottom. They do things that amaze me every single day, and they do it with passion, and they do it for our kids, and we can't thank them enough, but I'll try. I want to thank our staff, our ground crew, our maintenance, our custodians, our paras, our cafeteria aides, and anyone else that works for FISPA. You guys are the backbone of this district, and thank you for all that you do. Teachers, the best of the best. Thanks for doing an unbelievable job that you do each and every day. You go above and beyond for all of our students, teaching, counseling, and caring for them. Thank you so much. Building administrators, thank you for the way that you handle all the big issues on a daily basis, the things that we never hear about as a board member or an admin because you've already dealt with it and taken care of it. Thanks for all you guys do for the district. Central office and admin, thank you for all you do for our community, our district, our teachers, our students, and staff. Thanks for keeping the district focused on our goal of educating kids. Parents, thanks for entrusting us on a daily basis with the most precious thing in the world, your kids. We've always tried to provide them with the tools needed for life after school. Students, thanks for taking the opportunities you were provided by the district and making the most of them. You are the reason we are here, and thanks for all of your efforts. Board, thanks to each and every one of you for putting kids first in every single decision. No one should have had to endure the last 2 years of insults, hateful emails, and verbal abuse, but we endured it as volunteers for the district, and we did it for the kids. We continuously put the district and students first. We always took the path to put the district in the best light, and always kept the focus on kids, not our personal feelings. It was never about us, it was always about the kids. It got old at times, but together we endured. Together we passed the largest no tax rate increase bond issue in the history of the state of Missouri because we knew we needed things for kids and our district needed it. We have efficiently used these funds, and I'll say that again, we have efficiently used these funds, each and every dollar of them, for the needs of the student and the community. the Francis L. North High School is one of the few public projects in the state or in the country that is on schedule and has not had issues with supplies. And that's due to the fact that we were in front of a lot of the issues. We have a premier builder, not only in St. Louis, but in the nation, working in a partnership with us. And although we all understand that the funds that we allocated when by passing it on issue will never purchase as much as they did prior to the pandemic, I'm proud of the fact that we are meeting the needs of the students and we're spending all your tax dollars very wisely. This board has always supported each other, and I want to thank each and every one of you for that. To the elderly too on the board, even though I'm the same age as they are, Janet and Patrick, they always ride together everywhere, and they always get there 20 minutes early, but we can't figure out how they find their way there. But seriously, Patrick has been a career educator, he was a teacher, he was an administrator, and his guidance filled a void for this board and helped us out on a lot of different issues that we needed help on. Janet was a nurse. She was the district nurse coordinator for our district, and she helped us out a lot when we were dealing with pandemic issues and any other issue that dealt with students or that. So I want to thank them for the expertise they provided that I lacked. So thank you for that. Doug, the newbie, he was only 2 years on the board. I only served with him for 2 years, but Doug always kept us on the right course. He always was focused on the issues at hand, and he always had a passion for what's right and wrong, and he always put kids first. Thank you, Doug. Chad. Chad seldom said a lot, but he was always prepared for every meeting. Most times we had to ask for input, but when he offered opinions, we all listened. Thank you. Mary, Dr. President, Madam President, all the other things we called you over the time. I have no idea how you had the time to listen, coach, counsel, debate, and wrangle 7 opinions into one cohesive message. Always saying yes, but how will that affect fill in the blank? The student, the teacher, the staff, whoever. Always keeping the focus on what was important, always keeping the focus on kids. She always took the lead on responding to emails, providing insight and answers to many of the questions that had no answers. So thank you for that. Mary and the rest of the board are my friends, my extended family, and I want to thank you for your selfless service to our community, our district, and our students. I'm proud to have served the Francis L. School District. Thank you.
Wow, 6 years seems like yesterday and forever ago all at the same time. We've come so far as a district in the past 6 years. The last 2, we managed to make everybody mad just 50% of the time. And I wouldn't have wanted to do it with anybody other than you guys. When I first got on the board was not functioning cohesively. People would argue with each other while others were talking, and there just wasn't a level of respect. And what we have now is the ultimate respect for one another. We do not always agree. Many people say we're always 7-0, but we know we're not. We're not. And when you have that, that's really hard to come by. To have a board that doesn't agree, but respects the dignity of each individual on this board and wants to do what's best for everybody in our community. So I love all of you, and I am very grateful to all of you. And Mike, thanks for not mentioning that I'm always late.
Oh, I missed the page.
So my family has given so much to this community by allowing me to serve for the past 6 years. My kids were 5, 6, and 12 when I started this journey. We were starting with a new strategic plan. One of the things in that strategic plan was the dual enrollment program, where our students their junior and senior year of high school, could also attend St. Charles Community College at the same time. This year, we have 3 students, and I'm proud to say one of them is my baby girl, graduating with their associate's degree as seniors in high school. I'm proud to have been a part of making those sorts of things happen for our students. My husband isn't here this evening, but he's been my rock and helped me to stay grounded no matter how difficult the circumstances were facing this board. And I promise, we faced things that we couldn't have even imagined. Couldn't even imagine. And now that we're coming out of it, you know, I'm much happier smiling. I flew out of town yesterday, everybody had on masks, and I flew back in today, and the airport looked completely different. We are coming back. To our administrators, wow. What you guys have done over the past couple years, exceptional. It is exceptional. Only so many school districts even went to school last year. We did that, and you did that for our children. And it wasn't easy. I mean, I even spoke out in opposition of us going back to school at the beginning of last year because we didn't know things. We didn't know enough. Our health department wouldn't come out and say whether or not we should be in school or virtual. They wouldn't even tell us. Thank you all for making those difficult decisions and doing what was best for our kids, because we're not seeing the issues that some of the other districts whose kids were out of school for almost 2 years. So thank you. To our teachers, you all are the backbone of this school district and this community. The board does support our teachers. We may not always agree, but I encourage you to consider how leadership sets the tone for collaboration in our district. To community members that have continued to fight against Black history and Black literature classes, please, I ask you, be kind, be compassionate, and have empathy, and consider how what you say may be perceived and hurtful to another. I look forward to all of us working together as a united community to make Francis Howell the best district that we can be. Thank you.
We will take a quick 5-minute break, and then Mr. Adam and Randy will join us up here at the board.
What's happening?
It's our education partnership, whatever they're doing. She wanted, but it will be on the I was going to say, I thought they were. Oh, you did. We don't want to sit here tonight since it's 7:30. Nobody's usually like to, you can stay, but I'm not
Is that necessary? A little comment. Gotta keep digging. Good riddance.
I sent you probably got it.
I don't think I did.
I had the email that we had on file with Francis House family. And I sent it.
Okay, probably to my Yahoo email.
I don't know what email it was,
Yeah.
whichever.
It's the one, probably the one I get 300 a day.
Okay, so but if I just go on the event Friday 5 to 10.
Yes, yeah.
All right, I'll do this.
I need to still talk with my husband. I always have to catch him like with political stuff, I have to catch him when he's in a good mood because he's not as political as I am. So, I mean, he's but he's not quite as politically excited about politics as I am. So I always have to catch him.
I ran into one of my neighbors, his dog. I was actually getting in the car with him just tonight. And he had come up to church with
Oh yeah.
and he says, so Lisa, how do you feel like she's doing? I said, the way I wanted it to. He says, good. I said, speaking of which, that's it? I'm going to go do it.
On social media and don't see the
I don't want it to move into the wrong audience.
Yeah.
I don't want to be
But
on the next one, on the next
Okay.
Right on.
I will now turn this meeting over to Ms. Jane Hepler.
At this time, I'd like Adam Bertrand and Mr. Cook to come to the podium so that you can recite the oath of office. Right here for you. You raise your right hand and repeat after me. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Missouri,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of Missouri,
and that I will faithfully and impartially discharge the duties
and that I will faithfully and impartially discharge the duties
of school director in Francis House School District R3
of School Board Director of Francis House School District R3
in the county of St. Charles in the state of Missouri,
in the county of St. Charles in the state of Missouri,
to the best of my ability according to law.
to the best of my ability according to law.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You may take your seats. Randy over there, and then Adam over here.
Welcome and welcome. We will now turn it over to Dr. Hogan.
Yes, thank you. As the next step in the reorganization of the board, I will conduct the election for the new president of the board. At this time, we will prepare to request nominations for board president. Once a person is nominated, they will be asked if they accept the nomination. Their acceptance will be considered the second. We will repeat that process until there are no other nominations. So that being said, do we have any nominations for board president?
I do. I'd like to nominate Mary Lang for president again.
Thank you. Ms. Lang, do you accept that nomination?
I do.
Okay, thank you. Do we have any other nominations for board president? Hearing none, board, I would like to entertain a motion to close nominations for the president of the board as presented.
So moved.
Okay, we have a motion and a second by roll call.
Mr. Lane?
Aye.
Mr. Cook?
Aye.
Ms. Stiglich?
Aye.
Mr. Bertrand?
Aye.
Mr. Lang? Mr. Ziegemeier?
Aye.
Ms. Lang?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Motion carries, so nominations are now closed. Now that the nominations are closed, we will vote by roll call in the order that candidates were nominated, and since we just have one, that should be pretty simple. Board members may only vote for one candidate. So board, at this time, I would like to entertain a motion to elect Mary Lang for the President of the Board of Education.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second by roll call.
Mr. Cook?
Aye.
Ms. Stiglich?
Aye.
Mr. Bertrand?
Aye.
Mr. Lang?
Aye.
Mr. Ziegemeier?
Aye.
Ms. Lang?
Aye.
Thank you. Motion carries. Congratulations to President Lang.
Aye.
Sorry about that. Thank you.
Congratulations to President Lang. I will now turn the rest of the nominations over to you, beginning with Vice President.
Okay, thank you all. Board, do we have a nomination for Board Vice President?
I'd like to nominate Doug Ziegemeier.
Second. Oh.
Doug, do you accept?
I do.
Do we have any other nominations? All right, Board, I would entertain a motion to close nominations for the Vice President of the Board of Education as presented.
Second.
By roll call.
Ms. Stiglich?
Aye.
Mr. Bertrand?
Aye.
Mr. Lang?
Aye.
Mr. Ziegemeier?
Aye.
Ms. Lang?
Aye.
Mr. Lane?
Aye.
Mr. Cook?
Aye.
Now that nominations are closed, we will vote by roll call in the order that candidates were nominated. Board members may only vote for one candidate. Board, I would entertain a motion to elect Doug Ziegemeier for the Vice President of the Board of Education.
So moved.
Second.
By roll call.
Mr. Bertrand?
Aye.
Mr. Lang?
Aye.
Mr. Ziegemeier?
Aye.
Ms. Lang?
Aye.
Mr. Lane?
Aye.
Mr. Cook?
Aye.
Ms. Stiglich?
Aye.
Board, do we have a nomination for Board Treasurer?
I nominate Chad Lane.
Second.
Check. Mr. Lang, do you accept?
I do.
Free for all up here. Are there any other nominations for Board Treasurer? Okay. Board, I would entertain a motion to close nominations for the Treasurer of the Board of Education as presented. By roll call.
Mr. Lang?
Aye.
Mr. Ziegemeier?
Aye.
Ms. Lang?
Aye.
Mr. Lane?
Aye.
Mr. Cook?
Aye.
Ms. Stiglich?
Aye.
Mr. Bertrand?
Aye.
Now that nominations are closed, we will vote by roll call in order that the candidates were nominated. Board members may only vote for one candidate. Board, I would entertain a motion to elect Chad Lang for the Treasurer of the Board of Education.
So moved.
Second.
By roll call.
Mr. Ziegemeier?
Aye.
Ms. Lang?
Aye.
Mr. Lane?
Aye.
Mr. Cook?
Aye.
Ms. Stiglich?
Aye.
Mr. Bertrand?
Aye.
Mr. Lang?
Aye.
Okay. Board, I would like a motion to appoint Jane Hepler as Secretary of the Board of Education, who shall enter upon her respective duties the 15th day of July, 2022.
So moved. Second.
By roll call.
Ms. Lang?
Aye.
Mr. Lane?
Aye.
Mr. Cook?
Aye.
Ms. Stiglich?
Aye.
Mr. Bertrand?
Aye.
Mr. Lang?
Aye.
Mr. Ziegemeier?
Aye.
All right. Board, I would like a motion to authorize the district to continue to use the current signature plates bearing the signatures of President Mary Lang and Treasurer Michelle Walker until such time as new plates can be made.
So moved.
Second.
By roll call.
Mr. Lane?
Aye.
Mr. Cook?
Aye.
Ms. Stiglich.
Aye.
Mr. Bertrand.
Aye.
Mr. Lang.
Aye.
Mr. Ziegemeier.
Aye.
Ms. Lang.
Aye. Okay, board, do we have any nominations for MSBA delegate? We're going to do 2 of these and an alternate. Any-
I nominate Adam Bertrand to be one of our delegates.
Adam, do you accept?
Accept. I nominate Patrick Lang to be a delegate.
I accept.
Any other nominations for delegates? No, not yet. Okay. Board, now that nominations are closed, I would entertain a motion to close nominations for MSBA delegates as presented.
So moved.
Second.
By roll call.
Mr. Cook.
Aye.
Ms. Stiglich.
Aye.
Mr. Bertrand.
Aye.
Mr. Lang.
Aye.
Mr. Ziegemeier.
Aye.
Ms. Lang.
Aye.
Mr. Lang.
Aye.
Now that nominations are closed, we will vote by roll call in the order that candidates were nominated. Board members may only vote for one candidate. Board, I would entertain a motion to elect Adam Bertrand for the MSBA delegate.
So moved.
Second.
By roll call.
Ms. Stiglich.
Aye.
Mr. Bertrand.
Aye.
Mr. Lang.
Aye.
Mr. Ziegemeier.
Aye.
Ms. Lang.
Aye.
Mr. Lane.
Aye.
Mr. Cook.
Aye.
Board, I would entertain a motion to elect Patrick Layton for the MSBA delegate.
So moved.
Second.
By roll call.
Mr. Bertrand.
Aye.
Mr. Lang.
Aye.
Mr. Ziegemeier.
Aye.
Ms. Lang.
Aye.
Mr. Lane.
Aye.
Mr. Cook.
Aye.
Ms. Stiglich.
Aye.
Mr. Bertrand. Oh, I called you. Just checking. We're all here.
Okay. Board, do we have any nominations for an MSBA alternate?
I'd like to nominate Janet Stiglich.
Janet Stiglich, do you accept?
I do.
Do we have any other nominations? Board, I would entertain a motion to close nominations for the MSBA alternate delegate as presented.
So moved.
Second.
By roll call.
Mr. Lang.
Aye.
Mr. Ziegemeier.
Aye.
Ms. Lang.
Aye.
Mr. Lane. Mr. Lane.
Aye. I thought it was okay.
Ms. Stiglich.
Aye.
Mr. Cook.
Aye.
Mr. Bertrand.
Aye.
Use first names with you two. Now that nominations are closed, we will vote by roll call in the order that candidates were nominated. Board members may only vote for one candidate. Board, I would entertain a motion to elect Janet Stiglich for the MSBA alternate delegate.
So moved. Second.
By roll call.
Mr. Ziegemeier.
Aye.
Ms. Lang.
Aye.
Mr. Lane.
Aye.
Mr. Cook.
Aye.
Ms. Stiglich.
Aye.
Mr. Bertrand.
Aye.
Mr. Lang.
Aye.
Okay, and that ends that process. All right, next up we have a Board of Education comments and request.
I'd like to officially welcome Mr. Bertrand and Mr. Cook. I look forward to working with you guys over the next couple years and doing everything we can to encourage that Francis Hall stays #1 in this county. Welcome.
I'll just say thanks for the welcome. Look really forward to working with everybody. Thanks for all the visitors coming out to the meeting today, and just all the hard work in front of us.
Well, thank you. Look forward to working with everyone. Appreciate everyone coming out tonight and spending your evening with us. Appreciate it.
I just wanted to take a brief moment, and I wanted to thank Mike and Michelle for being kind and thoughtful members and always putting the kids first. Even when we disagreed, it was nice to have that respect. So I think that's going to continue with this new board. So I look forward to that continued respect and that dynamic with 2 new board members. I won't be the newbie anymore, so that's nice. I did want to bring forward a request. I normally wouldn't do this on such short notice, but there's a couple of moving variables here. One of those being, we usually, if we're going to add an item to the agenda, we request that of the president ahead of time. And since tonight we're just now voting on the president for Thursday's meeting, I thought it would be good to put forward the request now, and it is kind of a time-sensitive request as well. So looking to put a request for a resolution against Senate Bill 649 and different various versions of that. Hopefully we can put that on Thursday's agenda and vote on it and have discussion then. I know that's not what this purpose of requests and comments are, so I'm not really going to bring up much topics about Senate Bill 649. I think that discussion is probably for Thursday, but I just wanted to bring forward that request to put that onto the agenda for Thursday. Obviously, that's out of abnormal order, but I think a couple of extenuating circumstances allow for that. That's all I have.
I see no problem with adding that for discussion on Thursday. Is that, you guys get that uploaded?
We can take care of that.
Okay. Do you have a sample? Anything you want uploaded?
Yeah, I can provide something for a sample, and we can tweak it and pass it around as well.
Perfect. Any other comments and requests? I would also like to welcome you guys. And, all right, board, I would like a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. See you guys on Thursday.